Premier Heating and Air checks all the boxes. Google guarantee. Better Business Bureau A+ rating. 4.9 star with Google review. And the Premier guarantee. Experience the Premier difference today. Log on to premierheatingandair.com or call us at 478-300-2633.
Hey guys, I'm Heather Mead with the Vidalia Onion Festival, and we are so happy to have you joining us for the cooking show with Gary Lanton from Holy Smokes Barbecue.
Welcome back to Grillin with Gary here in beautiful Dublin, Georgia. So this week we are going to feature something that is unique only here to Central Georgia. It is the Vidalia onion. And there's funny history about it. It's protected by law. It can only be called the Vidalia onion in a small group of counties here in Central Georgia. So, you know, like I said before, people know me from cooking ribs and they know me from barbecue, but I'm just all around outdoor cooking is what my passion is here. So we're gonna do this to feature. We have the Vidalia Onion Festival getting ready to come up, and so we wanna just feature this. We're gonna do a Vidalia onion pie. So what is a Vidalia onion pie? That's what I said whenever I asked the computer what would be something traditional to feature. So it turns out all the way to the 1700s, there is recipes that talk about onions from here in Central Georgia that they made pie out of. So we're paying homage to something that is uniquely Central Georgia. You can't get it anywhere else. There have been taste contests all over the country, even including the great state of Washington, and we beat them on their home turf. I love competition. But I love excellence more than that. You cannot get a more excellent onion than the Vidalia onion. So I told you before that this is actually a protected by law vegetable here. So the Vidalia onion can only be produced here in Central Georgia. 1986, the Georgia State Legislature made that an actual law. So, hey, you can have sweet onions, but you cannot have a Vidalia onion anywhere but here. And so, I'd also told you, I'm a competitive guy. Holy Smokes started at the competition barbecue circuit. And so there was an onion in the state of Washington called the Wah onion. So, Coleman and the people of Toombs County of Vidalia, they said, hey, we think our onion is better than your onion, and we're willing to put our money where our mouth is. So they packed up a whole bag of onions. They sent it up to Washington on their home turf. They did a blind taste test, and the Vidalia onion won. They are the king of the sweet onions, synonymous. So when people around Georgia, they just think Vidalia onions, what does that mean? That's just some species of onion? No, it is a brand. It is a region. It is an identity. That is who we are here in Central Georgia. And so, I don't know. It's us. Love us, hate us. It's us. So the trick with this recipe here is your slices. I tried to dice them, slice by hand as thin as I can get them. If I'm honest with you, I sliced those with the slicer at work. I got a little bit lazy. We were doing a bunch of them and I had to do it in a hurry. They're a little bit thicker than what I normally would do, but they'll still work. They're just gonna take me a little bit longer. But here, it's better to make it a little easier on yourself and still cook outside than it is to just do it the hard way and not be able to do it. So don't mind me, I'm not anti-pellet grill, I'm not anti-gas grill. I'm just pro get outside and get off your telephone. That's what I'm about. So, I did not prep my onion correctly. I'm gonna take the top of the stem end off here, and just pull the skin. You know, it's really easy to prep these things. And these things, I think, were in the ground on Sunday. Here we are Wednesday. These things are as fresh as what you can get. I went to Vidalia Monday morning, and I left at 10 a.m., and I left about an hour before the bags hit the road. I mean, this is as fresh as you get. I know you guys are jealous, and I hate it for you, but I promise you, we're going to enjoy every bit of it. Now that I pulled the skin off here, we're going to slice our onions. I like to get them about, you know, an 1/8 inch if you can, but it depends on the sharpness of your knife. The last thing that you want to do is to get your fingers in there and, you know, and end up at the emergency room. As my lovely sidekick Tanya told me, the best way to prep these onions is to cut them in half and start that way, so you don't roll and like slice your fingers or be made to look like a dum-dum, like you don't know what you're doing. So cut them in half and it does not move. I like to have my onion sliced pretty darn thin, you know, and when it's cut in half, it doesn't roll around. And so you can almost cut it as thin as you want. I had the other onions over here that I had prepped at the restaurant. We cut them at 3/16. We have a Robo Coupe. It does it automatically. It's efficient. It gets it done quick. You can do it that way. You can do it this way. Doesn't matter. Just do it. So, as it is, one thing you can also do is dicing these onions. I may have showed you guys before, maybe not. But you have your onion, you have the stem end, you have the root end as it grew. You had a nice stem, bloop, roots. So get your stem in, cut it off this way, and do that, and leave your root end on here, right? Okay. And so what we're gonna do now is cut it in half, peel your skin back, $41.59. Tell your grocer that you want to have $41.59 in the case. If it does not say that, it is a fraud. Insist on $41.59. Vidalia onions. Okay. So we're going to peel this skin off. It's, yeah, biodegradable. Get our skin here. And if you're going to dice them, the way that I dice them, I'll come through here and do a couple of cuts along this way. And then we're just going to cut along the ribs of the onion, straight down. And once you've done that, then come this way. And it gives you a good dice. I mean, it's nothing fancy. You're using the nature of the onion and its layers against itself for the dice. So, you know, if you do it the right way, you have a nice, beautiful dice here. Do it any kind of way you want. There's no wrong way to do it. Just use a Vidalia onion. That's how you do it wrong, is you use a Wawa sweet onion. That's wrong.
I'm Brian Bazemore, President and CEO of Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County. We would like to invite you to come by and experience a welcoming banking environment. Come by today and have a cup of coffee and let us talk with you about our many products, savings accounts, checking accounts, CDs, and our many loans. You're more than just a number to us, you're family. Come by today, Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Mid-State Pools and Spas can help you create the backyard you've always dreamed of having. Choose from special pool sizes and shapes, or let Mid-State Pools and Spas design one just for you. Pools qualify for home improvement loans. Interest rates are still low, so call now. Mid-State Pools and Spas, 275-0506. If your existing pool needs a new liner, Mid-State Pools and Spas can help with that too. So stop by one of our locations in Vidalia, Dublin, and Sandersville today. Mid-State Pools and Spas, Middle Georgia's most trusted pool dealer.
During the Great Depression, Moses Coleman went and he planted some rows of onions here in Georgia. During that time, people were doing whatever they could to survive. And so when he planted the onions, he went and he pulled these onions out of the ground, and he took a bite, and it wasn't hot, it wasn't spicy, it wasn't bitter like regular yellow onions. It was sweet, almost like candy. And so, you know, he pulled up more, and what he found out is that there was something about the dirt here in central Georgia that made the onions not bitter and not hot like other yellow onions were. They made them sweet. And all of a sudden, he sat up by the side of the road, and, you know, they didn't have a goose that laid golden eggs, but they had an onion that made golden onions. So that's how the Vidalia onion got started. What makes it different here? You know, they had all the scientists come from the University of Georgia, and they studied, and what I think they found out is that the soil here in central Georgia doesn't have a lot of sulfur in it. And that lack of sulfur is what makes for this sweet onion. It's so sweet that you can, you know, it's almost a fruit. It isn't bitter. What other onions can you do like that? So this is a recipe that a lot of them that you have tells you that you have to wait until the onions are translucent and they're ready to cook, to use. Like, hey, on most recipes, I'm game. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And me, believe it or not, I don't eat too many raw onions. I always like to cook with them a little bit because I like the sugars to come out. Well, this is my stage that I normally do it. But this recipe, this is all about slowing it down. We're going to take our time, and this ain't enough. Like a good roux from Louisiana, this Georgia one here is all about, it's all about being slow, intentional, and waiting for the caramelization to happen. We're not cooking it brown. We are waiting for it to turn brown, like it's turning itself brown. So there's just, I don't know, it's a different philosophy. We're taking what it's giving us. We aren't forcing anything here. They say the man with the slow hand right here. This is what we're doing here. We're practicing the slow hand. And here's the secret about your cast iron, right? And a lot of people, they're like, hey, how come my cast iron doesn't work like my grandma's cast iron? Well, your grandma used her cast iron all the time, and she used metal utensils, and she was scraping it as she did. Whenever you're using, you know, utensils on your cast iron, always use something flat. So as I'm doing it, I'm trying to, eventually, I'm gonna rub all of those little burrs and imperfections out. And what that, you know, and then it makes it smooth in that. And also, you know, if you're a little anemic, you're gonna get your iron this way, like legit. It's better for you to eat food cooked in your cast iron. Do it for your own health. I mean, the edges are starting to get a little bit brown here. It's starting. It ain't there, but man, you know, I want to eat them, but I don't want to waste any that's going to be in the pie. Man, you just got to wait. First of all, I'm a traditionalist in most things. If you want to, go get a pie crust from the grocery store and use it for the recipe, by all means. If that's the way you want to do it, do it. But for this guy, we're going to use Ritz crackers as our base. Don't make that face. I know, trust me, this is going to be good. We're going to get our Ritz crackers here, and we are going to bust them. So, this is fun. You know, do it any kind of way you want. If you want to use the other, I want to try something a little different. Ritz crackers, you got these things in the fridge. We're going to use 2.5 cups or 2.5 cups of Ritz crackers and 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. That's going to be our crust, the recipe. So for our crust, what we're going to do is 2.5 cups of crushed Ritz crackers and 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. We're going to use the Kerrygold butter. I'm going to go ahead and crush all this stuff up here, And in a minute, once our onions are done, we're gonna start prepping up our crust. All right, we're good. I wanna bust these things up. So we're here at the Dublin farm again here with, I mean, look at this backdrop. Is there anything more beautiful here? But we're using my friend Lonnie and Lee Smith, Shannon and Gracie with Bubba Grills. They let us use this 250R. This grill is juiced up with the propane assist to get your fire started. Grilling with Gary. Hey, I know you maybe thought we were gonna bake our Vidalia onion pie in the oven, but we're gonna use a smoker oven. Mr. Lonnie was solid. He looked out for us here. So we're gonna go ahead and pre-bake our pie crust here, 350. We're gonna throw them in here for about 8 minutes just to get a pre-bake on them. And then we're gonna go ahead and assemble our custard while we're waiting on these to go. Nighty-night.
So when I sat down for an interview, Mike asked me one question. He asked me what made me choose Howard Chef. Why did I want to come to work out here? You know, I told him I was ready to learn.
Fred had a desire to be a mechanic and learn the transportation side or the logistics side of things. What he learned at OFTC has just taken his job and his performance to another level.
OFTC prepared me for working here. You know, it fit perfectly when I was going to school for it.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
When I was a kid, my mom told me something about cooking, and I firmly believe it. She said, if you can read and if you can follow directions, you can cook. And I firmly believe that. If you can not put your twist on something and kind of read and just do what it says. So we have 8 ounces of cheese. We have our little Switzerland Swiss. It's Swiss cheese we're gonna run with our recipe, and it's from Switzerland. So if the Swiss can't do good Swiss cheese, who can? We're gonna grate up 8 ounces of it here, so. Use our hand grater. You know, sometimes it's best just to not say what you're thinking. This is one of them times. Just say, I got a pedicure the other day. Yeah. Okay, so we're grating up this 8 ounces of Switzerland Swiss cheese, and look at how gooey that is. That ain't burn, y'all. That's that good stuff there. So our 8 ounces, and then after this, you can buy this stuff pre-shredded too. You don't have to do it the way we're doing it. There's one thing about it. If you look at it, it has a pulp in it that I think is like a wood pulp that they use so it doesn't stick together, excuse me. But if you've ever found out, like when you make mac and cheese or you make any cheese dish, it's better when you grate it yourself, is because it doesn't have that extra thing in there to keep it from sticking together. It is better. A little bit of effort, a little bit of time makes a lot of difference. It's amazing how that works. So we've done our bit right here. We have our 8 ounces. We are gonna get our flour here, and we are going for 1 tablespoon of flour. Okay. We've melted in our, we haven't melted, we've grated our Swiss cheese here. We're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of flour just to kind of prevent it from clumping and everything. And this, we're gonna season it up. Look, everything we do is gonna have flavor to it. We're not sending anything out of our kitchen that it doesn't have love to it. So this is no different. We're gonna salt and pepper up our custard here. We're gonna prep it to be the best it can be. All right, now we've got our flour incorporated into our cheese here. We're gonna do a little bit of salt, probably about a teaspoon's worth. Let me get my little paper out. About a teaspoon's worth of salt here. And then we're going to get some cayenne pepper in here. Y'all, we ain't doing this to make it hot. We are doing this just to cut back on the sweetness, just a tish, right? Just a little bit. And so we're gonna do what I would call probably a quarter of a teaspoon, just a little bit here, right there, look. It's not even gonna turn the color of it. So just a tish, cayenne pepper. It ain't supposed to be hot. We're gonna mix that in. What I have done, you guys, is I've beaten 3 eggs. We got our nice farm fresh eggs over here. You know, nice farm fresh here. And so we're gonna have 3 beaten eggs, and we are gonna add 1 cup of whole milk to it. So, one cup of whole milk. And so now we have our egg and milk mixture. We are going to mix this with our cheese, flour, salt, cayenne pepper, just to take the sweetness out, not to make it hot mixture. Okay. We're making a custard here. The texture of it is supposed to be really soupy, like a soupy gravy. We're not going for a thickness here, so we are going for a soupy type gravy texture. We are on scene out in beautiful Dublin Farm, and I forgot my whisk. Would you believe that? Look, we have our Ritz cracker crust here. It is baked. It is ready to go. And I mean, I wish you could smell them. But I mean, look at how, like, just the edges. You can't fake this right here, right? This isn't burned, this isn't brown. This is pure caramelization done the right way, low and slow. We're gonna just ease this on over to our Ritz cracker pie crust with Kerrygold butter. Boy, that's a lot. Okay, but it's a lot of onion. Let's see how it looks. We might use it all. Ooh, man. Look at it. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Holy smokes. Can you hear it? Oh. So, okay. So now we got a nice, look. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let the employees have one. I'm a good, you know, here they go. All right, employees, you know I love you. I'm gonna bring you the big one. Whew. Look at, good Lord, y'all. Look at that. This turned, I see why Vidalia onion pie was something to talk about, yo. If you look at that and really think about, this is about to be something special. I ain't into killing stuff, but you ain't getting in my pie fly. So, look at it. Good Lord. This is going to be good. Star of the show. You know, hey, that's a little too much extra. And now we're going to the pit. This is going to finish up, y'all. This is going to be special. Nighty night. Put it on the hot side of the grill. The grill's running a little cooler than I want, but that is no problem. And that's it for this episode with Grilling with Gary. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. And don't forget the Vidalia Onion Festival here. They're going to have Ashley McBride out there as the featured singer. It's going to be awesome, a good time. The Blue Angels, if you've never been out there and seen them in action, heck, the shows leading up to them are equally as impressive. Go out there, bring the family. There's plenty of things to do. Bring your checkbook. This is their big festival. The farmers, they're bringing everybody in to celebrate exactly who they are. So if you get a chance, coming to visit the festival, make sure you book your stay here at the Dublin Farm. It's a beautiful bed and breakfast. They have just unique dinners, different chefs all the time, wonderful breakfast. The atmosphere is second to none, y'all. This is beauty. This is Georgia. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you next time.
S&S Western Boots, family owned and proudly serving Middle Georgia. Step into the spirit of the West with authentic Western and urban wear, handcrafted exotic boots, custom hats, belts, and so much more. So whether you're dressing for work, the weekend, or the rodeo, S&S has the quality and style you're looking for. We're family owned and community strong, right here in Dublin at 1951 Highway 441 South. Call 478-279-0398 and step into a look that's all your own. Don't forget, it's S&S Western Boots, Highway 441 South in Dublin. S&S Western Boots, authentic, bold, and unforgettable.